Good evening, everybody. My name's Charlene, and I have the pleasure. I've been really excited actually about preparing for this workshop today. So we've got a lot to do, lots of great and interesting stuff. I'm going to be doing a quick slideshow, and then we're going to all start to use Tableau. I will be turning my camera off very briefly when I'm running the slideshow, so I won't be able to see you. You won't be able to see me. But any questions, any concerns, if there's anything I'm talking about you're not clear about, literally just unmute yourself, shout things out, and we can answer questions as we go. Okay, so let me start sharing my screen first of all. Okay, so thank you all so much and welcome to the Codebar Festival 2025. My name is Charlene, and as I mentioned, I'm going to be running this workshop. Today, we're going to look at how to use Tableau Public and why it's so important, and a very easy and accessible way to show your data analytics skills to a wider audience. I was wandering around during my lunch break today, sort of thinking, what's the essence of what I want to try and get across today? And what I really want to really focus on, that even though we're going to cover a lot of things, is really to focus on how important data is, how important it is to have an understanding of the role data plays in society, and how great it is to be involved as a data scientist or in data analytics. So I really want to get people excited about data today. So a little bit about me. During the day, I work as a project coordinator for a skills bootcamp. I'm also the founder of Data Divas. I didn't think I would ever get so excited about data, but as things have progressed, we've got machine learning, we've got data analytics. The field is just growing, and there's so much opportunity. So data really, really does excite me. And hopefully after the end of this workshop, you'll also get excited about the opportunities involved in data, whether it's a data analysis, machine learning. There's so much that you can actually do. So I'm going today to talk you through using a tool that most data professionals use, and it's called Tableau, and we're going to use Tableau Public. There's two varieties of Tableau, and I will tell you a bit later as to why Tableau Public is the one that you want to focus on. One, it's very simple and it's a great way to showcase your skills. So when you use Tableau Public, you will get a URL, and all of your data visualizations that you create, you can just share that URL with somebody. You can put it on your CV. You can share it with anybody, and they can always see the work that you've done. So that's the main objective, one, to get you excited about data, but also to give you a quick run through on Tableau Public. So before we go on though, we're going to be looking at a data visualization tool and making a dashboard. And you might have heard of Google Analytics, and you might have seen a Google Analytics dashboard. Tableau Public is very similar, but you can actually import any data. You don't need to just use the data from your shop or your website. Any data that you have access to, you can actually create a dashboard. So before we get started, I know we've done a little bit of an introduction, but I want to know a little bit about you and do a quick icebreaker. So here's my question to you. You've just been kidnapped, bundled into a car and whisked away. But 1 hour later, the kidnappers return you because you won't stop talking about, what's that one thing you just talk non-stop about that even kidnappers would say, no, this is just too much. So in the chat, can you just tell me what's that one thing that you talk non-stop about that even kidnappers would want to see the back of you? I'm going to say mine out loud, or you can unmute yourself if you want. Mine would be K-dramas, Korean films and dramas. I'm hooked. But drop it down in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and shout out, what's that one thing that even kidnappers would want to see the back of you? I can't see the chat, but if anybody wants to unmute themselves.
I said my dog Pixel.
Oh, right, yeah.
We've had someone say K-dramas here too. Someone else has
Wonderful.
said ADHD. Someone has said tech, coffee machine, retro consoles, running.
Okay, coffee machines, yeah. I'm looking for a good quality coffee machine myself. Thank you all for that. So we've looked at sort of the objective slightly, but just a little bit more about that. Creating a data dashboard is all about finding new and impactful ways to communicate the stories behind a data set. So data isn't just numbers. Behind every data set, there's a story that needs to be told. Data helps us understand the world around us. It offers insights into things that aren't always immediately visible. Data is also a way to help us look at patterns, to uncover truths and reveal insights about ourselves. Data is extremely valuable, so sorry. And dashboards is a great way to communicate the stories behind a data set. So data is not just numbers, data tells a story. And anybody who can unlock the story behind data is actually in a very fortunate position. Now, I just want to show you something. I know that everybody's from all parts of the globe, but let me just show you something that people in the UK might be very familiar with. In the UK, if you go into a supermarket called Tesco's, you will see a lot of these yellow signs. And they have these yellow signs, and anybody who has a club card, and the club card is free. And if you have a club card, this Bailey's will cost £9.50. So you go into Tesco's, you've got your club card, this Bailey's drink will cost £9.50. And you walk away and you're happy. However, if you don't have a club card, the regular price is £20. Now, why do you think they want us to have a club card? Does anybody have any thoughts as to why Tesco's really make a huge reduction in the price for club card holders?
So they can collect data on us.
Spending habits.
Absolutely. It's free, the club card is free, and the price difference is huge. So as we saw, with a club card, it's £9.50. If you don't have that free club card, it's as much as £20. And that is because they want to collect the data on us. So data is extremely valuable. No matter where you go, there's data being collected. How many people checked in on the tube? How many people are in a supermarket? What days are busy? What hours are busy? Data is being collected all the time. So people who can actually tell stories, explain the data, are in a very valuable position, especially now. So well done. Absolutely. Tesco's wants our data. So data flows through every process and system. The data illiterate workforce has become crucial. It's a very important success factor. Organizations, businesses, they need people who are literate when it comes to data. So data literacy and understanding data, understanding how to make sense of data is actually very, very important. So the fundamental change that has been sort of implemented by government in the UK is a data strategy launched in 2020, which is aiming for the UK to be a data superpower. Everybody now is really getting to understand that data really does matter, and we want to have people on our team who can make sense of data. So professionals with data skills, and here's some stats actually. So professionals with data skills earn 20 to 30% more than their counterparts in similar roles, and that's from IBM. AI and data roles are shaping the future. 60 to 70% of data collected by organizations goes unused because they don't have the staff that can make sense of it. Data-driven decision-making is crucial. So it really is all about data, data, data. We expect by 2025 now, 70% of jobs will require some form of data literacy. So even in my role at work, even those who don't work with data are expected to know how to use dashboards, to read dashboards, to use spreadsheets, all the roles that aren't particularly data driven on the surface still require some data literacy. So they say, in God we trust, all others must bring data. Nothing else matters, really, they're saying, but data. Data-driven companies want to prioritize how they make decisions based on data. So we're not just going to make a decision, does the data help and support our decisions? This is the kind of questions companies are now asking. Why do we do what we do? And does the data support our decisions? So if you can help companies make a data-driven decision, you are in a great position. So we are now what we call in a data-driven culture, where employees across all levels, as I said, use data to inform their strategies and to solve problems and also to improve efficiency. So being able to make better decisions using data will give you the competitive edge. So even you sort of think, well, I'm not in a role that is, you know, a data-driven role at the moment, but can you help the company that you are working for now make decisions based on the data they're collecting? That will actually give you an advantage. So without big data analytics, companies are blind and deaf. They are wandering onto the web like a deer on a freeway. So they have no direction. They don't know what to do. And sometimes they're using guesswork. So you don't want to guess, should I do something as a company, as a business, as an individual? Let data drive that decision for you. Okay. Does anybody have any questions at this point? Do unmute yourself if there's anything you're not clear about or you want me to repeat. So we are going to be using Tableau Public, and we're going to start off by just getting to know how Tableau Public works and how to build a data visualization online. And as I've mentioned already, there are two sort of data visualization tools that people will use to build dashboards. And one is Power BI and the other is Tableau. And the reason why we're going to use Tableau is, as I've mentioned, when you're building and creating your dashboards, your charts, the easiest way to share them is with your private and personal URL. And lots of people, they will create their dashboards, their charts, and share their URL on their CV or on their website. So if anybody wants to see, well, you know, can you create a dashboard? What do you know about dashboards? Tableau Public is a very easy and straightforward way to showcase your work. So I am going to share a link with you now. And let me just stop sharing. And then I will post that in this channel. Just looking at some of the comments in the chat. Okay, so what I would like everybody to do now is just have a quick go of logging on to Tableau Public and creating an account. It's free and it's very simple to do. I'm going to share the URL in the chat. So let me just get that for you. So that's the URL. And before we move on to anything else, can I just, if you want to code along and, you know, work along, can I just get you all to go to this URL and let me know when you've signed up for an account? And if anybody has any questions, do shout out. So I've done this for you, but I still thought it was quite important to actually talk about this. So with regards to data analytics, any form of data preparation, you do need to make sure that you clean your data, that you understand the data set. Now, you will never have a clean data set. You will be given a data set to work on, and it will have missing data, it will have null values, it will have outliners. So EDA, exploratory data analysis, is something that you do even before you start to do any form of visualization, any form of dashboard. You would look at your spreadsheet and start to decide, how do I deal with outliners? How do I deal with blank and missing values? What is my data set about? Now, EDA, as it's called, is one of the very time-consuming processes in all of this, but it's also very interesting and it's vital, and it's a step that can't be actually overlooked. And this is a step also in machine learning you have to do as well. So you have to clean the data, you have to understand the data, you have to decide how you're going to deal with missing values or null values. So there is quite a bit involved. I've done this for you, so you won't have to do this, but it's something to always bear in mind. So what is a dashboard? I have to say, before I started getting involved in data, I used to think, well, what is a dashboard? And a dashboard, in its simplest term, is a collection of charts all in one place. And they are normally linked in some way. So they are normally telling a story of some sort. So they typically look like this. You might have a bar graph, you might have some numbers, you might have a line graph, but they are typically linked in some way. Okay, so it's really an overview of several charts all in one place. Does anybody have any questions? No? Okay. So let's now take a look at Tableau Public. And
I'll just quickly ask you this.
Yeah,
Instead
sure.
of anyone asking the question. Is this tablet for free? Because I think there's another one that charges.
Exactly. Really good question, actually. There are two versions, and the one that we are going to be using, Tableau Public, is free. And what that means is every chart you create, every dashboard you create is accessible to the general public. So businesses wouldn't use it if they had any private information. But as people who are learning and wanting to showcase our work, this is Tableau Public is great. But businesses will typically use the paid version because they don't want to share inside information with the general public. That's a really good question. The only difference is with Tableau Public, all of the graphs, all of the dashboards you create are going to be accessible to anybody. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Really good question. There is a way to hide your data source, but people can still view your actual charts and dashboards. So they can see the visualizations, but you can hide the data source if you wanted to. That's a really good question, actually.
Thank
Does anybody else have any questions? So let me stop this for a second. And we're going to now look at Tableau Public and what it looks like to create our first dashboard. Now, before we do that, I want to share some code with you. So we've all got our Tableau Public accounts. And before we do that, I'm going to share some code. Now, I've prepared the code as, so it's a data set, and this is a dummy data set. We're going to look at some real data in a while, but just so that we can play around a little bit with Tableau Public, I've prepared a dummy data set for you. Now, what I'm going to do, this is in a Google Sheet, and if I just share my screen again, so this is dummy data, just so that we can play around with Tableau Public before we look at some real data. And this is a dummy data set, and it's in a Google Sheet. And what you need to do, I'm going to share the link to the Google Sheet in the chat. And what you need to do is go to File, and then download as a CSV. So a comma separated value file. Okay. So let me drop this in the chat. So this is not real data. This is just an opportunity for us to play around in Tableau Public. So I'm putting that in the chat now. Wonderful. So it's File, Download, and you're downloading as a CSV to your own computers. So do let me know once you've got a CSV file on your computer. Wonderful. Fantastic. So now we need to go back to Tableau Public. I give you 1 more minute. Make sure that we've all got the CSV file downloaded. Yep, fantastic. So you should, on your homepage, see a little button that says Create Viz. And you just click that. Now, mine's been sitting idle for some time, so hopefully the connection hasn't been lost. So have you all got this sheet up where it says connects to data?
Is there any chance of going back again to where you said? Where do we?
Absolutely. Let's go back.
Please.
Absolutely. So we've got our dummy data. Do you have this sheet? Yep.
Yes, I got that.
So we go up to File. We click File.
Yes, I've got all that. I'm just trying to find out about from the tablet. Should we just go to create?
Okay, so yeah. So let's go back. So you should have a button that says Create Viz.
Okay.
On your profile. So if you go to my profile,
You say viz of the day and subscribe.
can you see a little, there should be an image there, but can you see where there's a little image of,
Oh yes, the
yeah,
image.
if you
there.
click that and go to my profile,
Okay, profile. Yeah. Oh yeah, I can see create viz now. Thank you.
wonderful. So if we all click, have we all got Create Viz? Are we all at that point?
Yes.
Do you want me to go back? Got it. Wonderful. Do shout out if you are having any difficulty. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
can't get the home page. I can't find the starting page. So I'm just going to try and log in again.
okay. There's going to be some time afterwards, Jude. So I'll be able to go through step by step with you. What do you have so far?
I'm just trying to go back to the link that you gave us initially just to see if I can log in.
Okay, Jude. I will come back to you. I'm not going to leave you. So let me know how you get along and we'll come back. There's going to be time at the end anyway, and I will go through step by step with all of you and get you to share your screen so I can see. So I'm going to upload now that CSV, the dummy file, the dummy data set. Okay, can I all get you to get to that stage where you've all uploaded the dummy data? What can happen sometimes is if the computer, and I've had this on all day, I don't tend to close my tabs. So I will look at that in a second. So anybody who's having any difficulties, do bear with me. I'm going to go through and get everybody to do this. And then before we move on, I will come back and make sure that everybody's had a chance to actually try this. So if you have, so don't despair, anybody who's having any difficulties. You don't have the top bit. Okay, Claudia, bear with me 1 second and I will come to you all in turn. We'll have a quick break, and anybody who's struggling at this stage, I will make sure before we move on to the bigger data sets, I get you all up to speed. So we've got our dummy data has been loaded, but we need to now extract that data. And at the bottom, you'll see where it says sheet 1. If you click sheet 1, it should extract the data. Now it's trying to do that. And like I sort of said, if you've had if it's been sitting idle for some time, that worked. It does tend to take a bit of time to actually do that. So our data has now been extracted and uploaded. Now, what we want to do now, Tableau Public is very, very good. It's very, very user-friendly once you get over the initial hurdles. It will do a lot of the hard lifting for you. So I now know that my data has been loaded. So if you look at the top where it says data, I can see that dummy data, my dummy data set has been loaded. The data is loaded as tables, and at the top, above this horizontal line, these are called dimensions, and below the horizontal line, they are measures. So dimensions are very descriptive. So product category, order ID, measures are numeric. Okay. So if you look over here, there's a little button that says show me. Now, without much thought, Tableau Public will create charts for you. So if we drag product category to columns, so product category here, I'm going to hold down my left mouse button and drag it up to columns and click. I'm going to do the same with cells. I'm going to go to cells, which is below the horizontal line. So it's a measure. I'm going to hold down the left mouse key and drag that over to rows. Now, a bar chart has been created for me. If I go to show me, it will give me an idea of the best chart to use based on the data. So it's already done that for me. So you can just click. It will be outlined in orange, and that will suggest the best chart based on the data.
So you just
Okay.
click on best from.
You want to say that again?
Yeah, I'm trying to find out where the best is.
The best.
Yeah, you said to click on best. What's it under? Is it under where
So
automatic?
show me. So sorry, it's show me. Can you see the button that says show me on the right-hand side?
Right, sorry. I had to
It's
use
okay.
two computers because the other one is not showing my video. So I logged into two computers. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Okay,
Let
so
me go back a step.
on that side, where the data is.
Okay, I'm going to go back a step, undo everything.
Thank you.
Okay. So can you see on the left-hand side, there's a column and it says data
Yes, I can.
and analytics.
Yes, I can.
And below that, you should see the name of your CSV file.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So that means your data set, your CSV file has been loaded.
Yes.
And can you see where it says tables?
Yes, I can.
Wonderful. So what I want you to do now is look at product category. Can you see that where it says product category?
Yes, I can.
And hold down your left mouse button and
Yeah.
drag that over to columns. Can you see where I haven't let go
Yeah.
yet?
Yes,
I'm
you
going to
can.
let go.
Yeah, I've done it.
There we go. Wonderful. Now we want to do the same for cells. We're going to go to cells, hold down the left mouse button and drag that over to rows.
To row. Okay, I've done that as well.
Yep.
Okay, so
And
now,
let go.
yeah, the graph.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
And we know that this is an accurate representation of our data, but Tableau Public will do this for us. So we might go over, you can go over to show me, the button here. Can you all see show me?
So,
And
where is
on
that?
the right hand side.
Oh, okay.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can click that, and Tableau Public will give you several charts and options. And you can see that there's an orange square around the option that Tableau Public think is best
Yes.
for the data. So just click that,
Click on that one. Okay.
and then
Okay,
Tableau Public.
it's changed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's quite good.
So what we're going to do now, we're going to quickly try and do a line chart. Yes, Jude, do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi there. Yeah, I've managed to Yeah, I can't quite get the page that you've got here. I've managed to upload the data file. I'm just probably a step behind. So how do I get, what do I click on once I've uploaded my data to get the page that
Right.
you're on?
You will need to look down at the bottom and it will say sheet 1.
Okay.
And if you click that,
Yeah.
that should load you up to this screen.
Yeah. It just says it's creating extract.
That's what we want.
Okay, cool.
Shout out when you got to that stage,
I've
Jude.
got to that stage. And
Fantastic.
then do I just drag the product category into columns
Absolutely.
and
Well done.
sales into the other one? Okay.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, cool. I've got a bar chart.
There we go. And if you go to show me, you can
Yeah,
see
got
the recommended. You can keep your bar chart or you can use Tableau's recommended.
Yeah, got it.
Wonderful. Anybody else, if you're still not sure, if you're behind, please shout out. I will make sure that we stop for a few minutes to make sure everybody's up to speed.
Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. So let's try now and create a line chart showing sales over time. We're going to stick with our dummy data set. We're not going to do anything different. So what I want you to do now is at the bottom, it will give you the option to create a new worksheet. So just press that and it should now say sheet 2. So we've got sheet 2. And we want to now try and create a line chart. And the line chart will give us sales over time. So what we want to do now, sticking with the same dummy data set, what we're going to do, we're going to take order date. So it's a dimension. So we're going to take order date, left mouse button down, and drop that into columns. Okay. We want to take cells and drop that into rows. Now, what we want to do now, we're going to right-click order date. Make sure you right-click order date, and we're going to set it to continuous. Okay, so we click continuous. And make sure that you will just see a line at the moment, but that's okay. And let's go to order date again. And we don't just want 1 year, let's go to month. And that now has broken the year down into months. And that has given us a basic line graph. And that shows us our sales over time. So you could go to show me and you will get something suggested. And you don't have to go with the suggested ones. Tableau is very intuitive that once you've uploaded the data, it will create the charts for you. Is everybody okay? Does everybody have some sort of line chart? Wonderful, fantastic. So these are separate sheets, separate charts. And if I can get you to go and create a new sheet for me, so click on a new sheet. So this will say sheet 3. We're still using the same data. Let's see if we can create a scatter plot chart, which will show us the sales versus profit. We're still using the same dummy data set. And let's drag cells to columns. So go to cells and drag that to columns. we're going to drag profit to rows. And we need to make sure again that both are set to continuous. So if you right click, make sure that's set to continuous. Check the profits is also set to continuous. Now, what we want to do now, we're going to add detail for more data points. At the moment, we've just got one data point. So what I want you to do now is drag order ID, or you can drag product category. But let's try order ID to details. And this will give you more data points. So if you hover over, it will actually give you the order ID, the profit, and the sales. Mm-hmm.
Is there any chance of going by just where to drag the order ID from the left? Do we have to
Exactly.
grab it? Yeah, from there.
That's right. So can you see we're dragging
Yes.
everything? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we drag it to where?
So you want to drag, first of all, for the scatter plot, you're going to drag cells to columns at the
Yes,
top.
I've done both already. Just from the order ID.
Oh, the order ID. So now you want to drag the order ID to detail.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes, it's worked.
Wonderful. So any data set you load into Tableau Public. Valeria, do you want to unmute yourself?
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
Mine doesn't look like that. It's slightly different. I'll try to share.
Let me stop sharing my screen.
So I have it here, and so I did drag the year, the order date. Wait, maybe I dragged something else.
Yeah.
Oh.
It looks like you've got the order ID in the wrong place.
Oh.
So if you go, do you want to go back?
Okay.
Several.
So maybe I'll just. Oh wait.
This is a good point. Can you
maybe
see
I'll
the back
create-
arrow?
I'll create a new one. So it's in the columns order ID.
So we're creating the scatter plot. So you want to drag cells into columns.
Oh, okay. Cells. Okay.
And now if you drag profit to rows.
Okay. Is discrete, right?
It should be continuous.
Oh, sorry, continuous.
Yeah. It should be continuous by default, actually. You shouldn't have to change this.
Okay, so now there's only one.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
can you drag order ID to details? Detail?
Here?
Yeah.
Okay, now, sorry about that. Okay,
Don't
now.
apologize.
Okay.
There we go.
Thank you.
How's everybody getting on with that so far? Wonderful. So we've uploaded some data and we've created some charts. And it really is that simple, that straightforward. So you just need to upload. And I have to say, you've all done tremendously well, because lots of people struggle with this, to actually get the data uploaded, to extract it, and to create some charts. That's actually a huge achievement. So we've created some charts using dummy data. What we're going to do, we're going to have a quick 10-minute break, just to allow me to help anybody else who might be struggling. And then we're going to come back, and I've got some really interesting data sets we're going to work with. And also we're going to look at creating our dashboard. Okay, so we're going to stop just for now. And does anybody have any questions? Has everybody been able to get to that stage? Anybody completely lost? No? Fantastic. Okay. Good for you. Wonderful. Because I'm going to be sharing 3 more data sets with you. And they're a little bit more involved. We're going to be sort of ramping it up a little bit now. But if you've got this far, you've done tremendously well. So well done for getting this far. I will stop. Let's make it a 5-minute break then, because everybody seems to be okay. Are you sure there's nobody who needs any help, or? No? All right, so grab some water, congratulate yourselves, or a cup of tea. To actually get this far this is half the battle. If you can get this far, upload some data, extract the data, make some charts, that's Tableau. Making it pretty, making it beautiful is just playing around with colors. Okay, so let's all come back in 5 minutes time, and then we're going to share some more data, create some more charts, and then to actually create the dashboard. Wonderful. Welcome back, everybody. I just want to go through a few more slides. And somebody was saying in the chat that they've been practicing creating other charts. And the most important thing about today, and I want you to go away with, is understand the importance, if you are interested in some sort of field data related occupation, or you want to use data at work, I want you to walk away today having a Tableau Public account, and just getting used to the user interface. Okay, and it's free. And if you can use Tableau Public, and as somebody asked a really good question earlier, the paid version that companies will use, it's all exactly the same. So if you can practice with Tableau Public using the paid version, there is no difference. So spend time practicing, breaking, trying different things, but really getting used to the user interface. So I can be very repetitive, and I do want to sort of just to reiterate again the importance of understanding your data. So I've shared lots of spreadsheets, and I will be sharing some more with you. But the most important thing, it really is about spending more time with the spreadsheet before you even get to Tableau Public. So the more time you've got a clean data set, you've dealt with all the missing values, the blank values. Sometimes you will have missing values, and I'm sometimes tempted to just delete them. It's the knee-jerk reaction. Well, if the data's not there, just to delete them. But you should always ask the person who's giving you the data, why are they missing? There might be a reason, so just deleting them isn't always an option. So cleaning your data, preparing your data before it gets to Tableau Public is time-consuming, but it's also fun. Okay, you really need to understand the data set that you're working with. So we are now going to look at dashboards, as I've said, and a dashboard it's where all of your data insights live in one place. It's a collection of charts, tables. It's usually dynamic. And what's so nice about dashboards, if you update your spreadsheet, the dashboard updates automatically. It's dynamic. So if you add a new row to your spreadsheet, the spreadsheet that's connected to your dashboard, the dashboard will update automatically. Okay. So very quickly, dashboard design. It's just a collection of charts and tables and graphs all in one place, but they have a common link. They are linked in some way. And we're going to look at 3 other data sets in a second, and you will see the common thread. So it's just a collection of graphs and charts, but they're all linked in some way. So we've looked at this already, but what we're going to look at today are 3 data sets. And I'm always fascinated with how do we use our time online? How many people spend time online? Which country is online the most? So we've got 3 data sets we're going to look at. The country with the largest digital population in the world. And this is quite current data, is up to February 2025. We're going to look at the amount of time we spend on social networks. So we've got that data set as well. And the share of the population using the internet as well. This one is actually a really interesting data set. It looks at how internet use has changed over the years. Now, I've cleaned these data sets as much as possible, so you don't have to think about that, but also I will be sharing some links as to where you can get some interesting data sets, but bear in mind that you will have to do some sort of exploratory data analysis before using Tableau Public. Okay, Tableau Public is the end. So very, very quickly, just to reiterate, Tableau Workspace is the large blue area, and you can do a lot of dragging and drop in there. And as we've seen already, the pink area on the left, that's where you will see the sort of the hierarchy of your columns. So above the horizontal line, above that blue line, you will have your dimensions. Below that, you've got your measures, and dimensions they are very descriptive. So it's your columns that describe the data. And below that, you've got your measures. Those are typically numeric. Okay. So we've looked at this already, and we've done the dummy data set already. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop sharing now. And we're going to start to look at using some real data and creating some real dashboards. So this is a dummy data set. You don't need to keep this. What you do want to do, you could publish it, and that will publish it, post it to your profile. But I have no more use for this. We've tried it, it works. So what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to close it. Do I want to publish? Don't publish. So I'm now back to the profile page. And I always used to say to my students, because I used to teach a lot as well, repetition is the mother of skill. So the more you do something, you build up a skill. So I will share make sure you have the dummy data set again. So even if you have to repeat the same process time and time again, it does build up a skill. Okay, so I would actually say delete it and then do it again. Delete it and do it again. So what we're going to do now, and hopefully you haven't lost connections, is I'm going to share.
Charlie, I don't know how to close that sheet. Could you share us again, please?
I closed it now, but can you see, if you look on the right-hand side, you've got, there's a little button, there's 2 bars. Let me see if I can open. Can you see my screen going to load? Right, you should have like a little bar. So if I go to edit, I won't edit this sheet. Can you see by your name? There's a little cross. So we've got publish.
Yeah.
We're not going to publish. And you got a little cross there.
Oh, is that all I need to do? Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's okay. you'd be surprised how long it took me to figure that out. It's not as intuitive as it might seem. So I want to go back to my profile. And we should all be back at our profile page because we're now going to create another viz.
Mhm.
So we're going to start to build up our data set, our dashboard. And remember, a dashboard is just a collection of charts and graphs. So I'm going to now in the chat start to share some more Google Sheets. And as before, you want to go to File and download as a CSV. So let me just stop sharing. And I'm going to download, share them 3 at a time. So I've numbered them as 1, 2, and 3. And that makes sense as we go along. So let me share the first data set with you. So the first data set I'm about to share with you is looking at, this is really interesting actually, looking at the share of population using the internet from 1990 to 2023. And it's really interesting to see how many countries were on in 2000, which countries were using the internet more, maybe in 1988. It's a really interesting data set. So the first one I'm going to share, I'm dropping that in the chat now. So that's your first data set. As before, if you can open up that Google Sheet, go to File, download as a CSV. Wonderful. So yeah, please give me the thumbs up once you've got it downloaded as a CSV. Fantastic. Are we ready for the second? Wonderful. So let's try the second one now. So the second one, the second data set that we're going to look at, let me just find that. It's the country with the largest digital population in the world as of February 2025. So once again, an up-to-date data set, which I think is nice. So it's the countries with the largest digital population as of February. So let me share that with you. So here comes the second data set in the chat. Once again, can you go to File and download as a CSV? Thank you for the thumbs up. Yes, do let me know before I send the third and final one, how you're getting on. Okay, here comes the third and final data set. And this one is daily time spent on social networks. This is worldwide. So how much time do we spend online? And I'm dropping that in the chat now. Here we go. So you should all have access now to the 3 data sets. And can you see that they've got a common thread? It's all about size of, digital use over the years, the amount of time spent online. I try to keep a common thread because we want to try and tell a story with our data. Thank you for the thumbs up. Let me know how you're getting on. Fantastic. And this time it's going to be a little bit more involved. So I'll go as slow as possible. But if anybody gets lost, do shout out. And if we can't solve the issue, right away, then I'll make sure there's time at the end, and we'll go through it step by step. But the most important thing, and here's me repeating myself again, and I do repeat myself, is if you are interested in any sort of data-related field, having a Tableau Public account, getting used to the interface, and I have to say, and I'm repeating myself, but you being able to upload the data earlier and extract that data is a huge achievement. So we've got our 3 data sets. So let's go back to Create a Viz. Let me share my screen. Okay, so we remember that little blue button where it says Create a Viz? So we're back, wonderful. So we need to connect some data. And hopefully, as I said, sometimes there is an issue if you're had Tableau Public open for a while and it's sitting idle, sometimes you do need to do a refresh. So the first data set we're going to use is going to be share of the population using the internet 1990 to 2023. So I'm going to try and drag that over and drop that in. And if you click sheet 1, it should start to extract the data. These are larger data sets now, so they might take a bit longer, and it does depend on your connection, but hopefully it will start to extract. So that's done that. That took about 10 seconds. Thumbs up, well done, absolutely, thank you. Thumbs up is always good. So we've got our data extracted. So what I want you now to do is we're going to create a map. Jude, are you okay? Anybody struggling?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get that page up. I've just clicked on sheet 1, so it's still whirring.
I'm still whirring.
Oh, I think I'm there. I think I'm done.
Yeah?
Yeah, sorted. Thank you.
Fantastic. So what we're going to do now, we're going to create a map. And what I want you to do is to go to country, which is our dimension, and hold down the left mouse button, and we're going to drag that onto our workspace over here and drop. Now, Tableau will create that map for you. Okay, fantastic. Thank you for the thumbs up, because sometimes it's difficult to see people. So we've got a map, and you might think, okay, if I hover over, it doesn't tell me much. So what we want to do now, we want to find out more about which country uses the internet most, and we want to use color to show that. So what I want you to do now is to go to individuals using the internet, and that's a measure. Can you see that's here? And I want you to drag that over to color and just drop it there. So the more intense the color, the greater the internet use. But this is only going to be for 1 year. This still doesn't tell us very much. Thank you for that. But we know what you when you drag the color over, the more intense the color, the greater the internet use. So let's try to get some more information about this. You can actually edit the colors, and so what you can do if you wanted to change the colors, you can just click on color, edit colors, and let's pick green. And you can change the colors. You can personalize them as well. You can do all sorts of things.
Sorry, excuse me.
That's okay, Claudia.
Where do you put country?
Where are you at the moment? Do you have any map? Drop your country onto the big square space, your workspace. Shall I go back and show you again?
No, it's fine. Thank you.
Brilliant. Well done. Yes, just unmute yourself if you're not sure. So yes, you can create the default colors typically are blue, but you can create any color that you want just by editing it. As I said, this is great. We can see the more deeper the hue, the more the internet use, but we want to try and make this a bit more interactive now. So what I want you to do, I want you to look at year, which is a dimension, and just click the little drop down. Now I want you to convert to discrete. And I'll tell you why in a second. So I've converted it to discrete. Yeah. Now, what we're going to do so that we can make our map a bit more relevant, we're going to take that year and we're going to drop it into filters. So I'm just about to drop it there. Can you see? I'm going to let go. There we go. So, okay, we get to some more information. So if I was to pick a particular year, let's say 2002, that will give me a bit more information. So just pick any year, doesn't really matter which one at this stage. So just pick any year and click OK. Now, this tells us about internet use, and I think I picked 2002. So that tells me the percentage of internet use in 2002. But that's not really enough information. I might want to know about, something in 1990. So let's now actually try and find a way of creating a slider so that we can get more information. So what I want you to do now is right-click on the year. And if you see, it says Show Filter. Can you see that? And now I've got all the years on the right-hand side. So if I want to find out about internet use in, let's say, like we've crashed, let's see why. There we go. So 1996, you sort of think, was anybody using the internet in 1996? But yeah, they were. Are you all okay with that so far? Do you all have the years? Fantastic. Now you perceive it like...
Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hello.
I think I've missed something. When I put the year into the filter, it doesn't show, each of the different years as an option to choose. It says, how do you want to filter on year? And then it's got a bunch of different options: all values, sum, average, median, count, standard deviation, attribute, things like this. I think I might have missed something before that.
Can you click the down arrow?
The
And
down
do you
arrow
have,
on where?
I think if you go back a step for me,
Yep.
so let's try and get your, so there should be no year in filters anymore.
Yeah, there's no year in filters.
If you go to, let me go back with you.
So I've put the country into the main worksheet area,
That's right.
and then I've put individuals using the internet in as color.
Yeah. And did you convert to discrete the year? So I think my,
So before dragging it over.
that's right. Before dragging it to filters, if you, there's a little arrow and it says convert to continuous or discrete. You want to make sure you select convert to discrete.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And now when I put
And-
it into filters, it gives us all the different options, yeah.
Well done.
Great. If it's not jumping ahead too much as well, I wanted to ask, on the key on the side, how do we get it to show us what those numbers are referring to? Is it like millions or thousands or percentage or?
Really good question. This is why it's so important to spend time in your data set before the visualization, because you can actually, you will, and you should actually label all of these. So share of population, that is probably, that's percentage. Okay, so we're looking at percentage, and ideally you should label all of your keys and your legends so that anybody, because most people looking at your dashboards and charts won't have you there to explain the charts to them, so they should speak for themselves. That's a really good question.
How do we add those labels in?
I will show you. That's a really good question.
Thank you.
Everybody got the years on the right hand side? Now, sometimes people want to leave that and think that's fine. And you can, depends on the look you're going for. But you might want to go to, there's a little drop down. Can you see where it says year? And there's a little drop down. If you click, you might want to create a slider instead. And it's a little bit more tidier that way. It's entirely up to you. Both work exactly the same. So your user can slide to get the information, to get the dates to change. Brilliant.
So how did you get a slider?
If you go to the year, you will see a little drop down, and I just clicked single value slider.
Thank you.
You are. And like I sort of said, you can change the colours and do all sorts of things. But I just want you to get used to working with the actual Tableau UI and getting used to actually loading data. So we're going to now load our second data set and create a quick bar chart. So what I want you to do, get a new sheet. Unlike with a dummy data set, we're going to be using a completely new data source. So we're not going to be using the same data set for each chart. So I want to load a brand new data set now. And to do that, I'm going to go to data and then go to new data source. Click that. And we're back to the opportunity to load a new data set. So for this one, we're going to use country with the largest digital population in the world as of February. So I'm going to get my data. I'm going to drag it over and drop it there. I'm going to click Sheet 2 to extract that new data set, and hopefully it extracts straight away. There we go.
So which data set are we choosing for this one? Sorry.
It's okay. For this one, we're going to use number 2. So that's countries with the largest digital population in the world.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So we're now using 2 different data sources. And if you look, you can see that both of them have been loaded. And I'm using country with the largest digital population, and that's sort of highlighted grey. So what I want to do now is I want you to drag country to the rows panel here. So country, drag it to rows. And then we're going to drag internet usage, which is in millions, to columns. Now we've got a simple bar chart where you can see internet use is great in China. And once again, if you've cleaned your data set, a lot of the labeling will be done by Tableau for you. So we know that internet use is in millions, and we see that has been done for us. So if you wanted now to add something a bit more interesting, you can label the bars. You could drag internet use millions to the label shelf. So internet use, we can drag that to label. And that will actually, if we hover over, that adds a bit more interactivity. Not happy with that blue, just click on colors again and just pick any color. Okay. So that's our second chart. And we're going to be using all these charts, all 3 of them in the end, to actually create our dashboard. So that's our second one. Let's.
Sorry. I closed the first one, even though I saved it, and I started a new viz for the second one. Is there any chance of me being able to merge them?
I don't know if you haven't saved it, you're probably going to have to.
I did save it though.
Okay, you probably will.
Save it.
If you open up that first one that you closed,
Yes.
and then go to edit,
okay,
then you can add this second sheet.
Okay, thank you.
Exactly. But that's not a bad thing, because here's me repeating myself again. Repetition is really, really good. Because you will be doing this more than once, you're going to get so used to the actual UI. So that's not a bad thing.
Okay, thank you.
There'll be some time at the end, and if you still haven't been able to add in the second sheet, I will show you how to go back and edit that first one to add the second sheet. Okay.
Thank you.
So what we want to do now, go down and create a third sheet. So this is sheet number 3. We're using a new data source this time again. So we go up to data, new source, new data source. And for this one, we're going to be using daily time spent on social networks. So I'm going to just drag that over. Whoops. Oh no. Didn't want that to happen. No. Just stop sharing. There we go. To sharing. I think I might be in the same position as somebody who spoke earlier. Have I inadvertently closed this? Yeah, not to worry. Oh no, there we go. Yeah. Any questions so far? So I was a bit over enthusiastic about dragging my data. So instead of dragging this time, I'm just going to upload so I don't close anything. So that this time we're going to create a line chart and we're going to use daily time spent on social networks. So it's that one. Now I want to try and extract. So I'm going to click sheet 3. There we go. So if you look under the data column, you can see I've got 3 sheets there now. And the one that's grayed is the one that's I'm going to be using. So we're going to create a quick line chart. And what I would like you to do is to drag year to columns. So remember, this is a dimension. And we're going to drag minutes per day to row. So minutes is a measure. And let's drag that to rows. Okay, not very interesting. So let's add some more information to this line chart. So we can see that as the years go by, the minutes have increased. But what I would like you to do now is to add data labels to display the values for each year on the line. So drag minutes per day to the label shelf. So minutes per day to the label shelf. So that gives us a bit more detail. We can go a bit further and we can create a trend line. So we can look at trend over time. So what I would like you to do, if this time we're going to look at analytics. And if you click analytics, you have the option of a trend line. And if you just click that and hold down your left mouse button, I want to use a linear trend line. So we can see anything above or below. That will give us a bit more information. Okay.
Can you show it again? Sorry.
That's okay. Was that the trend line?
Yeah, from analytics and then
Absolutely. Let me undo that. So we're at analytics. If you go to the trend line, I'm holding down I'm clicking and holding down the left mouse button.
Okay.
And can you see I've got an option of just dragging and dropping the trend line to linear?
Okay, done. Thank you.
There we go. Super stuff. Well done. So we've got our 3 charts now, and very, very quickly, looking at time, let's create a dashboard. And what we need to do now, we're not going to create another sheet. So it's not a new worksheet. Go to the second tab and it says new dashboard. So if you click that, we're going to now start to build out our dashboard. What I would like you to do first of all, when it comes to size, so I just clicked on size, and where it says fixed size, just click automatic, and that just gives us a bit more space to work with. Wonderful, thank you so much. Now, you will play around with this. You will see some, now that you are all members of the Tableau Public family, you can sign up and do data visualization sort of competitions. You will have access to everybody else's dashboards and their data as well. So it's a great place to learn. So there is so much you can do. I've seen amazing dashboards. You can get really quite creative, but I just want to show you the basics of building out a dashboard. So the first thing that you need to do, if you look where it says objects on the left-hand side down at the bottom, make sure it's set to tiled. And then we're going to add some containers. So the first thing I want you to do is to add to the main sheet here a horizontal container. So I'm just going to drag that over there and drop it there. And inside of that horizontal container, I'm going to drag my sheet 1, which is just drag it over there like that.
Sorry, Charlene, can you show us what you did there? I couldn't see where your cursor was or what was meant to be.
Absolutely. Let me undo that. So on the left-hand side, can you see we've got objects?
Oh, right, yes, I can see it now.
And we've got horizontal or vertical containers. And I want you to hold down the left mouse button and just drag to the main area a horizontal container. Can you see it's gone a bit grey? And release. And in that container, I'm going to go, I've got all my sheets now that I created earlier. I'm going to hold down the left mouse button and just drag and drop in sheet 1. And this is where you should technically do this early on, but this is where you can then start to, look at editing the title. So here you've got like a little arrow, drop down arrow, you can edit the title. So you can call this, you should really name, the title should be what the data set is. So I'm just going to call it dataset 1 for now. To show you. And apply, but that's just how you would edit the title.
Should I
And you can
wait till I've been able to attach the other one before labeling them, because I think it'll get confusing. Because now I've only got 1 and 2, which is
right.
2 and 3. So
You haven't got 3.
yeah, because the other one is still I've not been able to attach it.
Okay,
yet.
not to worry. I will come back to you and help you with that. Yeah, ideally label all of your charts before you get to the dashboard stage.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
But I should have done that earlier.
How do you edit the title? Again, I couldn't see where to.
It's okay. So if you go along, you can see a little drop down arrow there.
Oh, great. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So we've got a horizontal container. Let's add a vertical container now. So I'm going to the vertical container. And you can play around with it and decide where you want to put things. You can put it here. And if you think, oh, that's not right, let me add that to the bottom. And you can add your second sheet here and just drag and drop. And it would be nice if you had a color scheme and everything was working, according to a brand or a feel you're going for. I'm going to add another container. And I'm just going to quickly put in sheet 3. And it's a case of playing around and seeing what works for you, what works, for the color you're trying to, the feel you're trying to create. Also, as well, you get to the point where you sort of think, I'm not sure if I want this on the dashboard. So you can delete things as well. You can, rename things, edit things, edit the tile. There's all sorts of things you can actually do. Okay, just by editing it. Keep an eye on the time. Now, I just want to show you quickly how to publish. So you created your dashboard. It looks wonderful. The colors are great. And you want to show this off to the world. So you can just go up to publish. Give your workbook a name. So I'm just going to say test for now. And publish. So you've saved your changes now. Has everybody been able to do that so far?
No, I don't know how to save anything.
Okay, good. So what I want you to do is, let me see if I can go back.
Can you edit it? Because yeah, I don't know how to. At the moment, I've got my tiles in, but they're all overlapping, so I couldn't separate them out. Like my containers are all overlapping.
I see. I think you probably dropped them. And it is an art form to actually get your containers to drop where they need to be. I will come to you in 1 second, Jude, and we're going to I would like everybody to be able to have something on their profile page. Okay. So Jude, I will come to you in 1 second. So if you press publish, that should now be on your profile page. Can you all check and see that that's been saved? So if you go to, you can, now that it's been published, you can say publish as, you can change the name again. Okay. So let me stop sharing for a second and just see who might need any help. Let me just go to my profile. So has everybody got something on there? Yes, Jude, do you want to unmute yourself? It's
Yeah, I have.
published.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where to look to see if it's published or not. I did publish it, but I have no idea whether I'm looking at the sheet I was looking at before or my profile page, or where do we go to see whether it's published or not?
You want to share your screen with us, Jude?
Oh,
I've stopped sharing now.
I can't do
wonderful.
that. I don't know how to do it.
Can you see at the bottom, if you hover, you can see it says share? Can you see a little green button at the bottom?
Yeah, sure. So what am I meant to do? I've got lots of options here. Desktop 1.
Can you see the screen that you're working on?
Well, I don't know which one it is. It just says desktop 1, which I assume is the.
Have you got more than one monitor or just one?
Oh, just the one.
Okay, yeah. If you click that one monitor, the desktop one, that should share the.
Oh no, that's not right. Oh God, no, I'll stop that. That didn't look right. That
No.
wasn't.
You can also click on one of the application windows. So if there's a set of, if it's a particular tab, for example, or window, you can click on that window and it should hopefully work.
Sorry, I really think this is going to take ages for me to get there. I suppose really what I needed to know was what to see what you published. Do you just go to your profile page?
Exactly. Yeah.
So
So
I just press my name and
exactly your little picture.
well, I've got my name up there, but yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, right. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything. All I can see is the page that we were on before, the work page. I'm not outside of that.
Okay. Hold on one second, Jude, and we're going to get you something published. How is everybody else? Have you all got something on your homepage now? Your profile page? Wonderful. Jude, you
The
hold
one
on.
that's missing.
Check the one that's missing. Okay. Here's me repeating myself again. You know, I repeat myself. It's such a good thing that you have to go over it again. But do you have something on your profile page?
Yes, I do. I've got the dashboard, and then I've got the ones that are saved, sheet 1, sheet 2. So the dashboard
Brilliant.
has got, I think, the last two that we
Okay.
did. And then the other one, probably one of them, sheet 1 or sheet 2, so on there, so it's there.
Right. How's everybody else doing? Do you all have something on your profile page? Jude, hold on one second and I will come to you. Wonderful. If you ever want to go back and edit, so I'm on my profile page now, you just click on one of your tiles and you think, oh gosh, I really don't like those colors. I really want to change them. Just go up to the edit and then you can get back into edit mode. If I just click edit.
Charlene, you've stopped
And-
sharing, by the way.
Oh, so sorry. Let me go back. Thank you. Let me share my screen and go back.
Is there a way to save what you have? Because I think if I click out of it, I might lose what I've got.
Yes, if you click publish, it should save that for you, Jude.
Okay, right. Okay, well, I'm hoping it's done because I did publish it before.
All right, don't go because I really want to make sure that you've got something. So let me share my screen again. I was talking to myself. Which one is it? It's this one. So very quickly, let's say I go to my profile page and I want to change the colors. I want to edit it. I forgot to add a sheet, but I want to add a sheet to my data visualization. So go to your profile page, click on. Did you all see that? Was that too fast? You can pick the tile, wonderful. And then you go to edit. And then this is an opportunity for you to add that sheet that you didn't add. So if you go to your dashboard sort of visualization, click edit, and then add that third sheet or the second sheet that you didn't add.
Okay, when I go into edit, then I can add it.
Exactly. Okay. Any questions at all? Now, Jude, don't go. Yeah. Oh, sorry, do you want to ask your question?
Yeah, earlier you mentioned that it will automatically update the visualizations when you change the data.
Yeah.
How do you change the data? Because at the moment it's obviously like just uploading a file, so it's not a live file like a Google Sheet, for example.
Yeah. That's something slightly different. And that means that you have to, when you go to your data source, you can then actually go back into your data set. So it now lives on Tableau Public, and it's then you can start to add data. But because this is the free version, you have to just refresh the actual page. So it can be done, but I don't want to add anything more to the complex.
Sure.
So
So that means that basically you can edit the data inside Tableau. You don't have to
Exactly.
re-upload a new
No, you
updated
don't.
spreadsheet.
No, you don't. But you will have to refresh
Yeah.
because the free version you do have to refresh. The paid version, as soon as you change the data set, it will then upload automatically.
Cool. Thanks.
Was somebody going to ask a question?
where the edit button is on the actual dashboard that I created, because I was going to add the other one to it.
You would have to add it as a sheet. So
Okay.
yeah,
Look
you
on
have to
the
add it.
sheet.
So if you go to your dashboard, how many sheets do you have on your dashboard?
I've got 2.
So on that particular viz, you want to add that third missing sheet.
Okay. So okay, on there. Let's open sheet 3. So let's do it all over again, or can I, the one that's saved, can I just bring it up into it?
You can. You're going to have to add it afresh into the dashboard one. So your data viz with the dashboard. Do you want to
Let's share it so you see it.
Yeah.
Because I
Share
think
your screen.
make it a bit easier for
Yeah.
us. Yeah, I'm gonna share from here. To go back to it. No, it's not this one.
And whilst we're waiting for that, if you look at your where we went for the new data source, you can see how you can edit the data there as well. So if you hover over where we went for our new data source. Okay. Is this the, can you scroll down and, all right, I see. So dashboard, okay, so what, sheet 3, is that the sheet 3? Okay, so what you want to do, you've got sheet 1 with data, you've got sheet 2 with data. What you want to do now is on sheet 3, you want to create that new viz.
Yes.
It doesn't look like that's the data's been loaded. Can you go to new data? Can you go to the new data source? So if you go up, yeah, where you are now.
I think maybe sheet 1 or 2 is empty for
Yeah.
him.
Let's see. Let me show the ones that are there. You got this
All
one.
right, that's a nice color. Yeah, you got that one.
You got that.
You got
And
that one.
the other one is.
Okay, so you need to load the data source. So
I need,
if you
yeah.
go up to the
We're
new,
going to
where
my
it says
profile.
data. No, go up to data.
Okay.
Yeah, new data source.
Okay.
I think you don't have the map, do you? You want, yeah, if you click upload from computer, you want the share of population. So, and if you click, we want to extract that. If you click sheet 3,
Right.
so let's try to extract that.
I had to use 2 computers, so
All right.
turn one down because it's not allowing me to see myself. Okay. Extracted now.
That extracted.
Yes, it has.
So if you drag country onto the main workspace,
Yeah.
that's it. It should give you a map. There we go. And what you want to do now, you want to give that some color. to show intensity. So what I want you to do now is drag individual using the internet percentage to the color box.
Okay.
Okay. So what we want to do now is we're going to quickly create the drop down. So what I want you to do now is make sure where it says year, don't drag anything just yet. Where it says year, if you click the drop down arrow, make sure you select convert to discrete.
Okay.
That's it. Convert to discrete.
Okay.
Okay. And now can you drag that year to the filtered column, filter box?
You want me to drop it?
If you drag and drop it into the filter, that's it. And if you pick any year, it doesn't matter which one, and then click OK. And if you right click on the year now, we want to show filter. And it should give you all the years on the right hand side.
Okay, so show filter for that.
That's it. And you can use that as it is. But if you want the slider, if you go to the little drop down near year, and then it will say show slider. Slider.
No, let's see, informal colors. Okay, let me.
Not that. That's it. The year. But that's it. There we go. Show slider. That's it. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. So you've now got all your sheets in. You just need to go back to the dashboard and then just create, add that sheet.
Okay, so go back to dashboard.
So you've got all your 3 sheets. Add a container. That's it. Well done. Try and drag it to the bottom. You probably, you might want that look. That's yeah.
Still covering it.
So if you drag the sheet in, that's it.
Okay, let's do that one. I mean, that's what you want. So you've got the dashboard going, but obviously you probably want to play around with the layout a little bit. Well, maybe.
But yeah.
Okay, let's see.
And if you don't, just to everybody, if you never sort of think, oh, I'm not happy with that layout, just delete that particular container and sheet and just start again until you get what you want.
Okay.
We've come to an end now, but I just wanted to make sure everybody had at least something on their profile page. And Jude, I just want to make sure that you have all that you need. Does anybody else have?
I'm still in the same position, but I just want to, well, maybe looking at Fred's sheet, I don't know what he does now. If he could publish and then show me how to get onto the profile page on his.
Okay.
So if you click your downward arrow where it says publish.
I'm just going to reshape it quickly and then do that.
Okay.
And then you can see. I think the other one, I've done it vertical and then it's okay. Let me just, okay, so publish it.
Can you click the little, so it's been published now. Now that should be on your profile page. Can you also click the downward arrow next to where it says publish, Fred?
Yes, I can.
That's it. Yeah, if you could click there. So where it says publish as, at the moment your workbook is called test 3. If you wanted to do test 4, you could publish as and change the name. But click publish again.
Publish, so publish.
You can change the name if you want to, but that should be okay.
Okay, let me just close it and just go to publish. To publish.
Okay. So it should tell you that it's been published to your profile.
Yes, it has.
Okay. So when you go to your profile now,
Okay. I have to close this before going into it.
you can do.
Okay.
When you scroll, so there's your test tree. So, and if you wanted to edit it again, wait for that to load.
Oh,
And if
okay.
you go,
Okay.
can you go up to edit? Can you see the little?
This one here.
That's it. Yeah. So that will take you back to editing. You can delete sheets, add more sheets. It's entirely up to you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Jude, did that help?
Just trying to see. I've just done a publish as test 2 for mine, and I'll just see if I
Right.
if I come out of it, whether it's on my profile page.
Will she be able to see my one?
And if you go,
Yeah,
if
I'm
you,
controlling
good
yours,
question.
so I'm just hoping it'll do the same as me. Do the same for me.
Yeah, that's what I was
Um,
about to say. If anything, if you're able to see from, I don't know, because I published it, then it will go
Yeah. Anybody can now see your visualization by either searching your name, or you can share your URL. So if you go to my profile, everybody now has personal URL that they can share. And that means your visualizations can be changed, they can be mixed. People can actually sort of fork your visualization and change it and play around with that. It doesn't have an effect on your viz, but you might see a visualization you like, and you might sort of think, oh, I want to really sort of see, how do they do that? You can actually fork that, download that viz that you really like, and play around with it. And change it, make it your own.
Okay.
Jude, how are you?
Okay. Well, I think there's something on my profile. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went into my profile and there's something there. How do we get back to that sheet if we wanted to play around with it?
So if you click a tile, one of your tiles on your profile.
I'll stop sharing, so if anything, she can share. So
Right. I can't, but yeah, I'm clicking on the tiles. Sure.
Let's Fred, don't stop sharing. Can you go back to your profile?
you want me to go back? Okay.
Yeah. And Jude, if you watch.
I will watch. Yeah, great.
So Fred's going to go back to his profile. And this is actually any sort of viz you see on Tableau Public. That's it. Well done, Fred. This is how you will edit that viz you see. So Fred wants to edit test 2. Can you click test 2?
Yes, I can. So I'll go into it now.
That's it. And then you go up to edit.
Edit.
That's it. There we go. Can you see, Jude?
Yeah, I can see that.
And the good thing about this, that when you start to spend time on Tableau Viz, everybody puts their viz up there. You will see some that you really, really like. And all you need to do is click on that viz that you've seen by this famous person, and then just edit it, play around with it, change the colors. Because it's public, the data source typically will be available to you as well.
Thank you.
So that's it, everybody. Well done. To be able to do all of this and have something on your profile, you have no idea how much of accomplishment that is.
Thank you.
It's huge. Yeah, and that's Tableau Public. It's a case of deleting everything we've done and doing it again. Deleting everything we've done and do it again. Practice makes perfect, and repetition is the mother of skill. But yeah, I wasn't sure how everybody would get everything up, and it's very, very handy. Absolutely.
Thank
So
you.
if you want to share your data visualizations with people, you've now got your URL on your profile page. Just share that. But thank you all so much for your time. Thank you for helping each other out as well. Thank you for your patience. And we all got there together, which is so important. But yeah, really appreciate how you all supported each other. That makes a huge difference. But well
Thank
done,
you.
huge accomplishment.